trail junction. I'll come back to that one. And look at this huge dead tree towering above the park forest. So I will keep going on this trail till we get to the road. Hopefully get to the road. And I'll be back. But it's nice exploring everything. Here's another trail branch. They probably lead to the same place, so I'll explore the closer one first. And here we are near the tail end of the ski hill overflow parking. You can see the Mount Martin Ski Club sign there. Actually, I'll get closer so you can get the whole effect. Here we go. Oh, see, the solar panel powers up the lights. There you are. And over here, you can see the dirt road that I have sometimes come through in my own car. The one that leads to the road that borders the cemetery. And I suppose that someone put these gloves up here to mark where the trail is. So this will be a bit longer video than I thought, exploring all the... And somehow the video got stopped at some point. I can see that now. But now we go this way, and we'll see how far we get. Probably come out right near the cemetery, but probably north of it, actually. We'll see. So, I'll come back when I have more. Now, I found a tiny little trail that bisects the road. So since I've never explored this section before, and it's beyond the ski hill area, let's go further along here and see where we end up. You can see how the woods seem a bit more tightly packed in here. But it'll probably end up leading directly to the lake. I mean the river. So we'll be fine. You can see how the underbrush practically forms a tunnel here. It's quite nice exploring all these things that are so close to home. Don't have to spend money to travel after all. Oh, and look, you can see the river through the trees now. And we'll probably come right out at the shore and we'll be right at the Ottawa River. So. But that's not the thumbnail for this video. The thumbnail for this video is going to be the park sign. Yeah. Now I came across this once one morning and ended up at the road that led to the park and everything. But you see, this trail here, it leads all the way in there. I've gone that way before. Leads all the way back there. And here's the actual ski hill and the river. It goes all the way down to the shore. And that ski hill goes all the way over to cottages that are beside the lake. So it's quite nice. So now I'm going to go back and find the first fork. Well, the nearest fork to us. I always thought this series of park videos would be a 3-part series only, that this would be the third and final section, but I think there's potential for next Sunday, when I'm back home from the model train show, to come this way again through the ski park and explore that other section. You know, the section on the other side of the road. That'll be section number 4. And don't worry about the town streets and the neighborhood roads and everything. I did all that last summer during my summer vacation, rollerblading and everything. And now that I'm starting to put up the videos from July of 2022, you'll see those soon enough. In fact, I just put up the first of those videos Friday, May 26th. Here we are at the branch. So we came from that direction, we went that way, now we go this way and see where we end up. Probably at the road that goes along the front by the cemetery. And that's good because that'll be a nice boundary. Make our way back. There won't be much to film because you'll have seen it already from an alternate direction. I'm going to stay on this side of that dirt road. That'll pretty well be the boundary for this video. It's quite beautiful walking through all the trees though. It really does remind me of the trees near the military base when I was deployed. The forests and everything. Well, there's no trace of pine trees anymore. It's all maple really, and some birch and some poplar. Another thing I noticed, even though it's Sunday and it's still the weekend, once again, there's nobody on these trails. Maybe the heat is keeping them inside. Maybe they're all busy with garage sales. I do know that it's getting close to military posting season when people are moving bases and everything, so they probably don't have any time to explore the neighborhood near them. That's part of the reason I'm doing this now, this summer, so I can get all the seasons before I move. If I move bases, I don't know yet. By this time next year, hopefully in 10 months, I will know. Alright, we're nearing the end of the trail now. I can see the dirt road ahead of me. You can now see that. Well, I'll wait until I get closer to take the picture. And here's another little branching trail, so let's just take this one briefly, just to explore all the branches on this side. I already decided I'm going to come across from the cemetery on the other side of the fence, this side of the fence, to make sure that I duplicate what I've done before. And that'll get us into the park. And we'll see how far this trail branch goes. Well, not very far at all. You can see the dirt road here. But I will backtrack now so I can get the other section. Oh my. Well, that leaves something for next week, see? See where the trail comes out? Right here? That is going to be a preview image for next week's video. That's probably where I'll end up coming out next week, next Sunday. That's good. Now I know. All right. So back we go to the main road, the western road. And we'll go along until we get to the fence by the cemetery. All right, I'm back again. You can see the dirt road here. Now, noticing this trail branch that probably goes out to the park, I'm actually going to go along that branch to get back to the park. So you can see the intersection here. You can see the road that goes all the way out to Highway 17 and the cemetery in that direction. So now it's time to go back, not that way, this way. Section I haven't got yet. Here we go. This will take us back to the park, or at least link us up with that trail by the fence of the cemetery. So I'll let you know when I get there. I'm getting closer. It's a good thing I'm not filming too much. In the space of about 1 minute, I ran across my first couple people, joggers actually, on the trail. But this is quite nice. The shade of the trees makes the summer temperatures more bearable, even though it's not summer for another 4 weeks on the calendar. It's certainly become that this week in temperature, anyway. And of course, I'm approaching a grassy meadow up here where there's not going to be any tree shelter for a while. But because this video was filmed on a Sunday, the start of a new week, I'm not going to include it in together with the video I filmed on Friday. It's going to be a separate video. And now we can see how the trail splits in two once again. And, which way do I go? I'm going to go right to start with. Maybe I'll double back, maybe I won't. Oh no, more branches, see? There. Now, if I go far enough straight ahead, which is where I'm going now, that will lead me to the cemetery. So I think I'll start with that. And then work my way back. Another reason I didn't get a lot of video footage of my life before 2011 is because I didn't have a digital camera or a smartphone to do it with. In '92, when we did enrichment classes and learned how to use the video camera, basically had to borrow the school's camera each time and supply your own VHS tape and everything. But now it's a lot easier with the smartphone. And thanks to Dropbox, the video footage beams evenly, quickly to my computer. Well, I needn't have worried about missing those two branches because now this trail's taken a sharp 90-degree turn to the left towards the park, so you're going to end up going towards the park anyway, which is good. And I know all the footage looks the same after a while, which is why I'm taking shorter and shorter video segments. Still pretty though. When I edit the videos onto my computer, I may have to create separate segments now. Say, May 28th pictures versus May 28th videos. Be a lot easier to put the video sections together that way. We're approaching something. It's either going to be the park or it's going to be the cemetery. Ah, it is the cemetery. I can see it through the trees. It's the fence, the fence we were aiming for. Well, we found it. There we go. Get a good picture there. Now, if you follow the fence to the right, you end up at the road. In fact, we'll do that now, just to account for it, and then follow the fence to the left, and you end up back at the place. Now, here's a good way to take a picture of the cemetery without getting anyone's gravestone information, because you're just seeing the side. And there's someone there riding their bike through the cemetery, and probably taking it through the park trails at the same time, eventually. This trail segment here is what I actually first went on when I first discovered this park. I think it might have been in the latter half of 2020, actually, before I went overseas. Because I was already familiar with it in July of 21 when I came back. So I've been coming to this park for almost 3 years. I mean, August 3rd, 2020, I went to Deep River the first time and went to its waterfront and took pictures of the Ottawa River and the Quebec Hills across the way. I remember that very clearly. And by the time I post this video, you'll probably recognize this field. It's where we came out before. We're at the cemetery. Last week we were in the trails beyond the cemetery. And you've already been down there an earlier week before that. So it's you're finding something new every week. And now we go back. So I'll get more when we get to the park section. Back where we came from. So there is where we came from. Along there. Here's where we're going, along the fence. So that's great. I saw a gravestone back there where they had the wife already buried. They had her date of death, of course. They had the plot for the husband. He's still alive. It just had a minus sign next to the his birth year. So that's good. Waiting for each other. So we'll see if this trail itself, if we end up, when the fence becomes a right angle and you see the green shed, then I'll know, well, there's the green shed. That's where I was a couple weeks ago. But that means I got done what I wanted to do this week, and now we're pretty well back where we came from, because this trail here will lead back to the park by way of the cemetery, and so that'll pretty well finish up everything, because now we're definitely on the west side of the park. So I think I've explored enough for this week, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.